Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we are back with another Is It Worth It in 2023 video. And my goal with these videos is to simply look at a fragrance that is really hyped. You've seen it on lists. You've been told it drops panties. How's that working out for you? Overall, the scent is going to be really hyped, really beloved, particularly in the YouTube space. And, letting you guys know the reality. Is this fragrance exactly what other people have said it is? Other reviewers, maybe some people in Facebook groups, wherever it is that you consume your fix for fragrance. I am trying to just officially tell you whether or not that hype is justified. Today's fragrance scent we are looking at is beloved, talked about a lot, will be on many top 10 lists, specifically for the fall and winter months. Maybe number one in many of those videos. Scent I'm talking about is Viktor Rolf's Spicebomb Extreme. So I'm going to talk about the scent, performance, price, value, alternatives to this, and ultimately whether or not you should grab it in 2023. So let's take a look at it, starting with the atomizer. Really good atomizer, puts out a lot of juice. So, and look, the bottle, it is kind of gimmicky. It's a bomb, right? I'm sorry, it's a grenade, more specifically. But what I do like about the bottle is sort of simplicity of just the label. The band is pretty simplistic around the center of the bottle. The lettering is small. It's not too in your face. And I also like sort of the clean etching of the bottle itself. The little sort of grooves of the grenade. And, I could take or leave this, but obviously it's the clip of a grenade. But to me, it's just kind of annoying when you just want to spray it. Doesn't have a cap, just simply has that clip to stop you from pressing the atomizer down. So I've seen that on other fragrances, nothing new. But this scent was released in 2015 and probably his built up hype since then. When it initially dropped in 2015, I don't remember this being the immediate sensation that it was, but over time, the more, reviews that were done on it, and really they're known for its performance initially, and we'll get into the performance. It was one that many people sort of steered people towards, saying, you might want to check this one out. So when we talk about the scent, personally, I like the scent DNA. It is not overly complex. What I get mostly from this is a lot of spice, some vanilla, slight tobacco. I don't get a ton of tobacco, a little more on my skin than on strip and on clothes. My wife, however, she does not like this scent. She doesn't like it really at all. And that makes it difficult because this is a very in-your-face fragrance. If you're wearing this, you're probably going to smell it on someone. This scent DNA is familiar. You've smelled it in other things. And near the end of this video, we'll talk about alternatives to this, cheaper alternatives, more comparable alternatives in terms of price. But you've smelt this DNA before. It's similar to, maybe recognizing something like a Baccarat Rouge 540. It's one of those scents that is just super recognizable. You notice it immediately. It's not really, I wouldn't categorize it as masculine. I mean, it's spicy and vanillic. So, that doesn't really scream to me masculine. And, it's definitely a cool weather scent. I can see getting away with this maybe on a cooler summer night if you go light on the sprays. But overall, the scent DNA, although pretty one-dimensional and nothing too interesting, it's likable and it's blended well and it's, again, recognizable, crowd-pleasing. People are going to like this one. There's nothing challenging about it. Spice, vanilla, a little bit of woods and some tobacco, a little bit of sweetness there. You're getting a pretty straightforward wintertime scent. Because it's a wintertime scent, you need something that's going to cut through the cold, which is why one of the reasons I would think that this would be a good recommendation for the cold weather, because it truly is one of those fragrances that can hold up to the cold weather. Just frigid New England weather that I experience every year. I don't know why. I do it to myself. Shoveling, 10 feet of snow every other day. it's not, you ask yourself, why am I still living here? But I'm going to smell good. And this is probably going to be the type of scent DNA that I'm most likely going to reach for in those situations. If I'm going out with my wife for dinner, well, maybe that's a bad example because she doesn't like this fragrance. But if I'm going out with some friends, it's not overly dressy. It is a fun sort of laid back type of fragrance because it's so heavy on the vanilla. There's nothing really too buttoned up about this. There's not a lot of green elements like, earthy patchouli or anything sort of making this feel a little bit more mature and sophisticated. It doesn't have any of that. Performance, I know some people have questioned it in their batches. I would say to that, maybe you have a bad batch or a bad bottle, because this thing, I remember putting this on one day. It was a Sunday. I was going to watch the Patriots with some friends at a bar, and I oversprayed this. I literally had to take a detour because I stunk and it was choking me out in the car, and I was embarrassed. I didn't want to walk into a bar and just reek of, I'd be the cologne guy. I didn't want to be that guy, and I oversprayed. So it is possible to overspray this. Once it settles down after an hour or so, projection's really great for the first hour, and then it's becomes a little bit more reasonable. So in terms of performance, I've never felt like this hasn't performed what I would expect from it. I'm getting good longevity and above average projection for sure. So people are going to notice you when you're wearing this. I already touched a little bit on occasions. As far as occasions go, I would say casual occasions, right? Fun. Maybe you're going to a birthday party, again, cooler weather, something like that. It's going to garner, for the most part, positive attention. And I probably wouldn't necessarily dress this one up. It's not what I think of when I'm thinking like suit and tie or anything like that, or going to a wedding. So I'm going to reserve this for more laid back, casual situations in the cooler months. So the next thing I want to look at is overall value and price. Now, this is pretty much available on many online discounters. I will link it down below. I saw it on Jomashop for a 90 ml for under $100. To me, that's a good deal. The value's there for the scent and the performance, which is going to bring me to alternatives. Now, one of the probably the most legendary alternatives to Spicebomb's Extreme is, and I have it here, and I'll just show it to you briefly, is Spice and Black Vanilla from Cremo. And this scent is sort of legendary in its own right, in the cheapie community, and sort of the fragrances under 40, that type of thing. And that number's creeping up every year. Initially it was best fragrances under 25, then it was 30, then it was 35, then it was 45. I mean, inflation is affecting everyone everywhere. But nonetheless, this one can normally be had for under $20, and it's a fantastic fragrance. Doesn't smell cheap, but it does smell slightly different than Spicebomb Extreme, but it's going to give you that same vibe as Spicebomb Extreme. Although this one is a bit fresher, and it's under $20. It is a good alternative to Spicebomb Extreme. And then the other is one of my personal favorites, which is Bulgari Man in Black. And this one, to me, does smell a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mature in a way. Can dress this one up a little bit easier. It has this leather note in here that the Spicebomb Extreme does not have. It's a little more complex of a scent. Personally, I like this one a bit more. I just probably would find myself wearing this one a bit more. And although, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is not a panty dropper, neither are the other two. So unless you guys know something that I don't. So with all that being said, I guess my final thoughts on Viktor Rolf Spicebomb Extreme is I think it is still worth it in 2023. Now, I say that, I guess, with an asterisk next to it, and I hate to do it, but the reality is it's not my favorite in the line. So today we're just talking about this fragrance. It's not my favorite in the line. My favorite in the line is Infrared, the EDT. So that one is my favorite, and it does have some of the same elements to it that the Extreme has. However, there's just some more interesting notes thrown in there. And they work in the same season. It has this little sort of fruity sweetness up top, which distinguishes itself a bit from that just typical vanillic sweetness that you would get, a little bit of smokiness that you're getting from the Extreme. My wife picks up an incense note from the Extreme. Overall, it's a good fragrance. I think you should definitely consider it. I think a lot of people are going to love this fragrance, which I recommend everyone test things. This is fairly easy to test. I mean, I've seen it at Ulta's, I've seen it at Sephora's, I've seen it at you can go to any Macy's pretty much and try this. It's still in production. So, and I know you guys are seeing this on lists. I know it's being shoved down your throat. So with that being said, there are other fragrances that I like more than this. So that I'm officially saying that on the record, but I know this is a good fragrance as well. My number one test will be this winter as to how much I reach for this, because I didn't get infrared till the end of last winter and I didn't get it to wear it enough. And I just find myself probably going to be reaching for that more than this, but this is still a good fragrance. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of Spicebomb Extreme from Viktor and Rolf. Is this one still worth it in 2023? Let me know about your experience with performance. I know a lot of you guys say the performance isn't good anymore. It's been reformulated. Not my experience. This is a bottle that I've gotten just in the last 2 years. So as I said, unbelievable performance on this, to the point that I had to roll all my windows down in mid-January in Boston and drive around for an extra half hour so I could get some of the scent off of me. Let me know in the comment section down below your experience with Spicebomb Extreme. If you guys like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.